Welcome to my next Better Call Saul Season 6 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you are caught up to the point where I am every watching or watching Better Call Saul, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, if you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And full disclosure, I've already seen Better Call Saul all the way through one time. It's a pretty awesome show. It's definitely in my top 20 favorite shows of all time. I do like Breaking Bad better. In fact, I've reviewed every single episode of Breaking Bad on this channel, so if you want to check out any of my Breaking Bad content, with about 20 seconds left to go in this video, I'll put my most updated Breaking Bad seasons ranked right there. I'm not sure if I'm going to do my Better Call Saul seasons ranked because I feel like most of the seasons to me are the same. I like a few of them, but there's episodes that annoy me and they just take forever. But anyway, I love Breaking Bad. It's in my top 5 of all time. Better Call Saul, I'm not exactly sure where it sits. It could be anywhere from 6th to, I would say, 15th. It just depends when I do my next updated TV show, favorite TV shows of all time list. But with all that said, this will be Better Call Saul, Season 6, Episode 9. The title of this episode is called Fun and Games. And this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. So we start the morning following Howard Hamlin's murder. Jimmy oversees the installation of a sign above his office and meets with several clients while Kim argues a public defender case at the courthouse. As they go about their day, Mike and his men clean up Kim's apartment and remove any trace of the killing. Mike burns items used in the cleanup, including photos of Howard's body in a burial in the desert. Jimmy and Kim arrive home to see the apartment back in order, but decide to spend the night at a hotel. There, Jimmy, repeating advice Mike gave to him after his ordeal in the desert, tells Kim that one day they will stop thinking about what happened and will be able to move on. Kim doesn't respond. Gus drives to Don Eladio's place in Mexico for a sit-down between himself, Don Eladio, Juan Bolsa, the cousins, and Hector Salamanca. At his pool, Don Eladio explains that Hector Salamanca claims to have been in contact with Otto Salamanca, who survived the attack on his place, and told Hector that Gus was the traitor who is responsible for the attack. When Eladio asks for Gus's response, he states that it warrants no response. The cousins admit they cannot corroborate Hector's story, having seen Lalo's body, while Bolsa confirms a dental record matches through his contact with the Federales. Given the overwhelming evidence, Don Eladio dismisses the allegations over Hector Salamanca's protests, insisting that Hector Salamanca stay the night. Before retiring, however, Don Eladio tells Gus that he sees the hate in Gus's eyes, which he excuses on the condition he remembers who's boss. Gus stares into Don Eladio's pool. Gus returns home and opens the window shutters of his residence, apparently at ease. In the basement, he learns from Mike that Jimmy and Kim made their statements about Howard's disappearance to the police, who have assumed that he died by accidental drowning. Gus asks that work on the excavation immediately resume, though Mike cautions that it will take some time to find a new engineer and construction crew. Mike has misgivings about Gus's plan, but keeps them to himself. Gus visits a trendy restaurant, chats ambivalently with the barmaid, and orders a glass of expensive red wine. He is approached by the person there, David, with whom he is well acquainted with. The two men exchange stuff related to wine. David recalls a past experience visiting French wine country, while Gus recalls purchasing a vintage from David, which David recommended. Gus finishes his glass. A dark pale falls over his previously warm mood. He asks the barmaid to tell David that he has been called away and pays for his drink before leaving. Mike retrieves a lockbox from a hidden compartment beneath his closet and puts his revolver, ammunition, and Manuel Vargas' fake ID card inside. He tries to watch baseball on television, but becomes restless and retrieves the ID card. He then drives to Manuel's upholstery shop and summons him outside. Mike informs Manuel that Nacho will never return, that his death was quick and painless, and that he had a good heart despite falling in with bad people. He further assures that Manuel will no longer need to be concerned with the Salamanca, stating that they will soon meet justice. Manuel rebucks Mike, saying that what he is describing is revenge and part of a never-ending cycle of violence. Distraught over the loss of his son, Manuel tells Mike he is no different than any other gangster and walks back to his shop. Jimmy and Kim visit HHM, where a memorial service is being held for Howard Hamlin. They learn from Rich Swikert that the firm is massively downsizing, moving to a smaller office and changing its name. The couple approach Howard's widow, Cheryl, who is talking to Cliff Main. Cheryl confronts them about Howard's previous claims to her that Jimmy had harassed him, demanding that he repeat the story he told to the police about Howard's last proposed sighting. Jimmy claims that Howard showed up at the apartment in a drug-related state, but Cheryl angrily refuses to believe him. Kim makes up a story about seeing Howard snorting cocaine in his office a few years previously. With Cliff reluctant to take her side, Cheryl breaks down and excuses herself to the restroom. In the parking garage, Kim draws Jimmy in for a somber kiss and drives away. Later, at a court hearing, the judge receives a last-minute motion from Kim to withdraw from the case she is arguing. He is surprised at this turn of events since the hearing is being held at Kim's insistence, and she refuses to state the reason for her withdrawal beyond personal reasons. When the judge asks why they shouldn't proceed with the hearing, Kim informs him that she has already given notice to the state bar that she is no longer an attorney. Kim smokes on the balcony when Jimmy arrives home. Stunned at the news, he desperately tries to persuade her to reconsider her decision and get her career back. However, upon entering the bedroom, he discovers a half-packed boxes and luggage. An emotional Kim tells Jimmy that she has realized that the two of them have to separate, as they are bad for each other and people around them. She further confesses that she knew that Lalo Salamanca was alive long before he appeared at the apartment. In tears, Kim admits that she didn't tell Jimmy the truth because it would have ended the scam against Howard Hamlin, would have ended their relationship, and because she is having too much fun to stop, Jimmy is left in silence as she continues to pack. And now we have Jimmy McGill. Now Saul Goodman in earnest wakes up in his mansion on a rotating bed next to a prostitute. He carries out his morning routine, choosing which suit to wear and driving to work while threatening litigations and complaining to Francesca through his earpiece all the way. He arrives at his strip mall office, which has since been redone in gaudy fashion closer to his taste, and walks through the packed waiting room. Once inside his office, Saul instructs Francesca through the intercom to bring in his first consultation of the day, and that's what ends this episode of Better Call Saul. So this is like the last prequel episode, and the rest of the stuff is, I believe, sequel stuff for the stuff that happens in Breaking Bad, and then stuff that happens after Breaking Bad that we haven't seen yet with the Gene Takovic storyline. So this was a good episode. It kind of went by really quick. So I'm going to give this episode an 8.7 out of 10. My characters of the episode, I got to go with Kim and Gus Fring. Special recognition to Mike Ehrmantraut. I believe this is the last appearance of Gus in Better Call Saul, and Mike is in other episodes, but as like Flash, Breaking Bad content and stuff like that. So what a great way to end this part of the story. This is how Jimmy and Kim separate, and I liked it. It's not as good as Breaking Bad, but it was quite a surprise. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, or El Camino Breaking Bad movie, and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Better Call Saul. What would you rate it, and whom would you choose as the character of the episode? Anything you want to talk about Breaking Bad related, you can leave that as well. Check out my playlist for Breaking Bad on this channel. I'll put my Breaking Bad seasons ranked right here. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel I want to hit 100,000 subscribers. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.